You're watching EDFL Web TV from the Sporting Globe, 690 Mount Alexander Road in Moonee Ponds. Adam, we move on to the wash-up for Essendon Ford Division 1 and Division 2. We'll be talking about Tullamarine versus Glenroy in the match breakdown segment. So just the two Division 1 games to discuss this weekend. And of course, West Coburg unbeaten, top of the ladder, and Abdi Fidax, another dominant performance, 6 goals for him, and his odds for the Hutchison medal must be reeling in because he's kicking goals and big bags of goals out of the midfield each week.
Yeah, obviously a year ago Hillside was in exactly the same situation that West Coburg finds themselves in now, just absolutely blitzing the competition, and right now they look like the runaway premiership favourite, but obviously Tullamarine and Taylors Lakes are two clubs in particular that will certainly be hot on their heels, and yeah, they're travelling on very, very nicely at the moment. West Coburg just got to keep up the momentum. There obviously could be a few slip-ups in the middle of the season. That obviously they do have to play all those contenders once more to only beat Tulla by a point. So long way to go for West Coburg. It's all about what happens in September for them. And yeah, as far as Hillside's concerned, they just need to start getting some wins together because it's been a while since they've been playing some good footy.
Craigieburn kicked 3 goals 13 to three-quarter time against Taylors Lakes. It was a low-scoring scrap. Maybe with a bit of better conversion, they could have been able to pull off an upset win, but not to be, and they ended up kicking just the 3 goals, 3-16 for the entire day. Taylors Lakes stay third. They continue on their merry way. Craigieburn, though, 1 win, cast adrift at the bottom, and they are starting to run out of chances to be able to get themselves out of that relegation spot.
Yeah, you're right, Teo. It's getting tougher and tougher for Craigieburn at the moment, and the only club that's you can probably put in relegation contention for mine is Oak Park. I reckon everyone else is okay, so it's a two-way battle at the moment. And yeah, hopefully their luck can turn sooner or later for Craigieburn. As far as Taylors Lakes is concerned, for mine there's still a bit of a question mark on them at the moment. They're obviously, it's a lot like Coburg Districts in Division 2, obviously. They're not quite there with the top 2 teams, but everyone below them they obviously are a step ahead of. So they get the win, they tick it off, but probably not as convincing as they would have liked down at Taylors Lakes.
Division 2, Burnside Heights, they're hitting the wall a bit, I think. They kicked just the 1 behind to three-quarter time, but the club posted on its Facebook page that it was a massive turnaround from the first time they played Roxburgh Park this year. And of course, it's because they got done by 207 points the first time around. It was still 3 figures, but it was significantly less. So a minor positive to take out of that game, and I suppose Burnside Heights now, it would be nice to see them kicking bigger scores in defeat, but at least the club saw some positives out of taking on the top team.
Look, you've got to take positives wherever you can when you're in a situation in your first year like Burnside Heights, and obviously they beat East Sunbury in round 1 but then got done only a couple of weeks ago in the second time around. So yeah, you've got to take wins wherever you can for Burnside Heights at the moment.
Now we move on to Coburg Districts versus East Keilor, and Coburg Districts still can't break through for a win against the top 2. They're trapped in no man's land, too good for the rest of the division and not able to beat Roxburgh Park or East Keilor just yet. Bit of an interesting side note from this one. Jordan Madden went to the tribunal this week for an incident that happened in the match against Moonee Valley and received a 7-week suspension. So that's a massive loss for East Keilor. And he'll be back with a couple of weeks before finals, but unfortunately for him, and unfortunately for, of course, the Moonee Valley player who he was charged with striking, both of them are going to be missing a lot of footy.
Yeah, you're right, Teo. Yeah, as far as the game itself was concerned, though, obviously East Keilor just keep rolling along nicely at the moment. Had that slip up against Roxburgh Park, but that's okay. Only one team can win, obviously, and they are the 2 standouts, Roxy and East Keilor at the moment. As far as Coburg Districts is concerned, yeah, they're too good for everyone below them, Teo, but they're still a step or 2 behind the Roxburgh Parks and East Keilors of Division 2 right now. So look, they'll be obviously eyeing off finals footy, Coburg Districts, and once you get there, anything can happen, of course. But so they won't be too worried about what happens on Saturday. It's all about what happens in September. They've just got to get there, and I think they're on track for that.
Keilor Park, they're the ones that are coming good. Division 2, we have a mover. It is Keilor Park, and now that they've beaten Moonee Valley, the Valley find themselves in 6th. So Adam, a bit of vindication for you. I'll hand over the floor. You've been the booster supporting Keilor Park's cause this season. Do you feel as though they've finally come good for you, or could this actually be a bit of a false dawn?
my knock on Keilor Park has been not producing when it matters, I suppose, in big games of footy. They were one and done last year, obviously, against East Keilor in the finals. And this year they haven't really impressed me in the big games. This obviously was their biggest game to date, probably their biggest game in 2 years, apart from that final last year, and they delivered. So good on Keilor Park. They've just got to keep doing it now. It's a big second half of the year for them. They're certainly not guaranteed a spot in the top 4 because Moonee Valley will come again. But yeah, it's certainly a big result and one they needed.
That's it for the wash-up. If you click the links on your screen, you can go to the match breakdown and see the highlights and hear our analysis of Glenroy versus Tullamarine in Essendon Ford Division 1. Or you can skip straight on to the Round 10 preview right here at the Sporting Globe. This is EDFL Web TV.